Talking to a guy today called The Fixer. Ira Judelson. Any jail, any court, any time. Great idea for a book, too. He is the front page bail bondsman. Bail bondsman to the stars, if you will. A few athletes, a few rappers, and my favorite celebrity of all, Lindsay Lohan. Ira Judelson. Thanks for joining me. What's up, dude?
What up, Jay?
What up? Bail Bondsman to the Stars. And I got to say, I'm already hooked on this book. I'm going to have it read in like 2 days, Ira.
It's a great book, great read. I love it myself, and I don't read very often.
More of a movie guy, right?
Well, yeah, I love movies. Yeah, I do. And when I sat down to write this book with my writer, Dan Paisner and Simon & Schuster, I wanted people to understand that, being a bail bondsman, people don't understand what we do and why we do it, and how we meet people at their most vulnerable stages of their lives, how they're scared, housewives, family, friends.
Right.
And I'm there to come in, swoop, and help them out.
And you're a bail bondsman for the stars. I mean, we're talking folks that everybody knows about, celebrities.
Yes. I've bailed out Ja Rule, LT.
Yeah.
I've bailed out Cat Williams. I bailed out Plaxico Burress, Dominic Strauss-Kahn, and go down the line.
Now, before we get into those names, tell me, first of all, help me understand, what does a bail bondsman do exactly? How does the process work?
Process basically is as soon as somebody gets jammed up or in trouble, their first phone call is either to their attorney or their loved one, and right away they're going to know that they're going to need a bond. And the family or the attorney calls me, lets me know a little bit about the case. I start to vet the case. I start to speak to the family or whoever's going to be bailing them out, tell them what they're going to need, and then they start panicking. And that's where I come in and say, don't worry, I'm going to guide you through this. I wear a lot of hats. I tell people all the time, I'm not just a bondsman, I'm a life coach, I'm a social worker, I'm a rabbi, I'm a priest, I'm an employment agency. So I'm going to get you through this situation. Don't worry.
And so what kind of money do they pay up front, and what does that get them exactly?
It gets them out of jail as quick as possible. Every bond ranges from 6 to 10%. Okay. Bonds also, in my world, the most important thing is collateral. Houses, cars, jewelry. Mm-hmm. Stocks and bonds, whatever they have with their assets, so I can put it together for a great package. I have the highest respect for the other side, which are judges and DAs, to make sure that they're getting what they want. They're getting the defendant back to court, and there's a reason for that defendant to come back to court. There's a risk here for the defendant and the family if he flees.
Now, when certain celebrities call you or their families call you, you know right away, well, this person's got the money. I don't have to worry about collateral, right?
Well, I've had a case that I talk about in the book with DMX where, I took a shot on DMX. Earl had a little bit of a time management situation, didn't understand when his court date was, and was doing some tours, and we had some issues, but we got Earl back. And most of the celebrities that I deal with understand that they got jammed up and they want to get out as fast as they can, and their agents or their financial people are right on top of me, and I'm making sure that happens. And listen, their world gets turned upside down, and the last thing in the world they want to do is spend any extra time incarcerated, and that's where I am. Right, yeah. That's where I come in.
And you named quite a few people off there a few minutes ago. Lawrence Taylor was one. That was a case a few years ago, right?
Yes, I got a phone call from a very dear friend of mine, Arthur Idala, who was Lawrence's attorney, and he told me that Lawrence got jammed up in Rockland County, and told me a little bit about the case. I read about it in the newspaper, and we put that bond together, and we got LT out. I know he's doing great now, and he was a great linebacker, a family man. I respect him 100%, and he did the right thing, and everything worked out for him, hopefully, at the end.
So you get them out of jail, and there's a certain fee that you're collecting at that point, and then they're out of jail until their court date, right?
Well, no, not. You see, that's where it's a misconception. Some court dates could last 2-3 years.
Sure, yeah.
Cases go on that long, okay. And that's where you get a lot of sleepless nights in the everyday person. You bail somebody out, and you have them out on a $100,000 bond, and the case could last for 3 years, and you got to make sure that guy's checking in with you for 3 years, and then sentencing time. If he's going to go in, then you start to worry.
Sure you do. And during that 3 years, like what kind of things do you check up on them with? Do you make sure they're not drinking or they're staying drug-free and all that stuff, or what?
Well, listen, I can't be there all the time, but, they come in and they sign their card at my office, and we stay in touch. a lot of times they're down and out. I try to get them if they have some sort of a drug problem. I reach out to some different rehab facilities and try to get them in there, or some different AA meetings. Some people come in my office and they say, "Ira, I can't find a job because I'm labeled. I'm a felon." And I said, "Let me reach out and try to help you here." I reach out to some people in different unions in construction, and I actually had one case where a gentleman by the name of David Lemus, he was involved in the Palladium shooting, I want to say over 20-some years ago, and David was my client, and he spent 16 years incarcerated and was actually exonerated later on, and I actually called my cousin in Florida to put him to work in the warehouse. And I told my cousin what allegedly he was involved in, and my cousin was so scared. But we ended up taking it on, and it worked out for David, and he's doing great now.
That's really good. I mean, you love a happy ending like that, for sure.
Listen, a lot of times in my life, there's not a lot of happy endings.
Sure, for sure.
There are people that right now they're incarcerated. Some people that have made some mistakes that have to do what they have to do, and then there's some happy endings. I enjoy the happy ending in a nice way, not the other way, but. Right. I just want to make sure that, people come back to court and do the right thing and then let the justice system take over.
Tell me about Lindsay Lohan. How many calls have you gotten about her?
Well, the misconception on Lindsay is that I was working with her attorney, Mark Heller, on an ankle bracelet in California when Lindsay had her issues recently. And we were going to put an ankle bracelet on her and hopefully put her on some sort of a house arrest back here. It fell through, and she ended up going into rehab. And I was working with Mark on trying to find her a rehab facility here in New York and in all over the country. And it turned out Lindsay found the right place out in California on her own, and I think she's doing great now. I watched her reality show, and I hope she gets her act together.
Yeah, and that's really where the social work part of your job comes in. It's not just a bail bondsman. You're actually there for the family, helping them all the way through. That's incredible.
Listen, I have a great relationship with Ja Rule right now. When Ja was in jail, I wrote him, he wrote me, and he's a great, great rapper, and and if I could help him, it would be great. If he could help me, it would be great. And that's the type of relationship I have with my everyday client.
Sure. Now, how did you get to be the go-to guy for celebrities? Because, I mean, obviously this is a job. Every bail bondsman would want to do the jobs that you're doing.
Well, I mean, that's being a family man and, knowing that at any time I would have to leave. I have a great wife. She's my soulmate, my friend. She understands that, we could be out to dinner like with Dominic Strauss-Kahn, and, I got the phone call, and I didn't know what the IMF stand for. I thought it was a bowling league. And she said, I got to go. And she's like, but we're with 4 other couples. I go, I got to go. And she's like, all right, go. And she understands. She sat back down, and I'm there 24/7 for my attorneys because my attorneys are counting on me to do my job, and that's important. And plus, everybody has a right to get out, so I got to make magic happen fast.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And you have a great relationship with a lot of celebrities. Do you think that you're also almost like a household name among celebrity attorneys? Like, that's our guy. If we have trouble, that's our guy we're going to.
Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah.
I think I do. The attorneys always speak to other attorneys, and it's a small world, and I have an app coming out called jammedup.com.
Wow, okay.
And it's an online legal web service right now for any criminal and civil attorney, bail bondsman, private investigator, any legal expert, forensic DNA specialist, and other attorneys get to talk to other attorneys on this jammedup.com. So, and that's going to be a great tool for other attorneys, and it's a small world of attorneys, believe it or not. And when they need me, I'm there.
You know what I find interesting? You said the 2 coolest guys you've dealt with, Ja Rule and DMX, rappers. You'd think they would give you a hard time. Who was the most difficult celebrity you've worked with so far?
Wow. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say any of the celebrities have been difficult.
Okay.
They their world gets shaken up. Sure. I mean, and they're all over the front page of the news, or they're on TMZ or wherever they're at. And I had some issues with Earl DMX, on some problems, but we worked it out, and he ended up getting his life in order. I hope he's doing well.
Very good, man. Well, you're called the fixer, and we see that term used in movies a lot. But you're actually the guy that's doing it in real life for a lot of.
I do it in real life, and that's true. I mean, there's people that don't. There's a show out in Hollywood right now, and I do it on an everyday basis. It's a special thing. I get enjoyment out of it. I get a high from helping people. I also get a low when people hurt me, but, that's what I do.
It's an incredible story. The Fixer, any jail, any court, any time. Ira Judelson, The Notorious Life of a Front Page Bail Bondsman. This is a great read. Get the book, folks. And Ira, thanks again, man.
Thank you very much for having me.
You
Buy
got
the
it.
book. It's great. Great Father's Day read.
Sure is. All right, have a good one, Ira.
Bye-bye.